So have you ever had a brilliant idea come across your mind? And you're like, ooh, that's something that I think I could do. Or here comes along another harebrained scheme. And you're like, man, that's from the depths of my heart, I know that that's the best thing that I can do. That's the best idea. So you start thinking about it, you get excited, and that idea starts swimming through the enthusiasm into reality. And then something comes up and shouts, I think it's your own reality, your own fears. And it says, but what if you fall? What if you fall? Ouch. Normally when you fall down or you fell, what's the first thing that you do? Ooh, I hope nobody saw me. That'd be embarrassing. Because we have the fear of what other people will think. It is usually what holds us back. You know, Brian Tracy, years ago I heard him say, what would you dream if you could dream anything and if you knew you wouldn't fail? So I thought, hey, I'll be a professional bodybuilder. Because if I can't fail, that's what I'm going to do. You got to understand my background and where I came from on this. Little skinny white dude, about 140 pounds, deciding, hey, I'm going to be a professional bodybuilder. Now, I was probably 18 at the time. Well, you know, I started working out. I started doing everything. I found mentors, found workout partners. And I had this event happen one day. I go over to my friend's house, which was about to compete the next day. And he said, hey, why don't you compete with me? I was like, there ain't no freaking way. But after a couple of drinks, back when I used to drink, he convinced me, you know, alcohol gets involved. You do things you normally wouldn't do. So I hadn't tanned, I hadn't shaved, I've been drinking beer, eating pizza all night long. Yeah, but I remember sitting in his bathtub with a single disposable razor, shaving every hair on my body. You're talking about razor burn. It took like 2 hours. Of course, that one thing got dull. I've got a lot of hair on my legs. And it was miserable. But so I go the next day and I sign up for 2 different levels, Mr. Teenager and heavyweight men's division. I just barely made the heavyweight men's division. But I get there and they're asked, everybody's, you know, ripped, and they're like, hey, so what was your pre-competition diet? Beer and pizza. And they didn't believe me, but they could see. I mean, I was pale. Like I said, I had razor burn all over me. I had no routine ready, so I just improvised everything. And it was rather embarrassing. In the teenage division, I got second place out of 2. In the men's heavyweight, I got second place out of like 10, but all those guys were just, they were bloated, you know, too big. They were too big. I was just skinny, so I got second place. And I said, I was embarrassed. I'm going to be better prepared next time, right? So I went to the extremes. I did everything a man could possibly do to be a competitive bodybuilder. There was about a year or 2 in between. And I got ready. There's a much bigger competition. I'm pumped up. I paid all my money. I walk in backstage. There's a 105-pound class. And I got to tell you, there was 15 people just in that class alone. And these guys were shredded. I mean, they had veins in their butt, in their glute. Incredible shape. Half of them were about that tall. Like that. I said, there ain't no freaking way I'm even getting up there and embarrassing myself again. And I told the guy, sponsored it, I said, I'm leaving. He goes, well, you don't get your money back. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. So I left. Amazing imagine how embarrassing that was. All my friends and my family that were there to watch me, and I just walked off. It was at that time that I decided I don't have the genetics for this. I don't have the know-how, something. So I quit trying to be a professional bodybuilder. And that was 10 years in progress, right? And I just stepped aside. At first, I was a little let down, a little depressed. But then looking back, I think of all the things that I learned. The journey was pretty incredible. All the people that I helped along the way. And all the people that I can continue to help now. I'm not a personal trainer, but we're always talking stuff like that. I can help my kids. And I feel pretty darn good. I built a habit. I learned a lot along the way. And don't be afraid to fall, even though it may hurt. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you fail, just be sure to fail forward, learn something from it, and help others along the way. Y'all go get your oodle iPhone.